dang it, I forgot to wear my NBA Finals hat today. I guess it doesn't work so well over the headphones. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm in Indianapolis, and so we are huge Pacer fans here. And I know this show is not a sports show, but I just got to tell you, the game last night, I don't know if you saw it or not, Pacers came back from 15 points down, and we're all just jazzed here in Indy. So is that the right word, jazzed? Anyway, we are excited, and so I'm pumped today to share something with you that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks. I work with a lot of organizations, and we do sales coaching, and is it sales training? I don't think it is, based on what I've seen other sales trainers do. It's a little bit different. But one of the things that I believe in is checklists, is having I call it a beat sheet. And since the title of this is Mastering the First Call, I think it's important that we have a beat sheet. We have a sheet that has the beats. What are the things that we need to hit on the first call? And I'm working with a lady who has a marketing company, and she and I are going to be teaming up on some things. And in fact, I'll share with you, I might even have her on sometime. She has an amazing product that takes AI and helps you generate leads from it. And one of the things that we're doing is we're running some of these calls together. And so I came up with a beat sheet for her. And in doing so, I wanted to share it with you. And so if you can get value out of this, I don't know how to get this to you other than just going through it. But we can probably put a PDF in one of the comments on the replay of this. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And if you have interest in that, then you're in the right place. If you don't care about the first call, that's fine. You're doing things fine now. If you're closing 90% of your deals, you don't need this. Go off and watch a replay of the game last night. So here are the beats that I want to make sure that my clients and I and you hit in the first call. First off, there's got to be an introduction and a positioning, sort of an upfront understanding of what's going to happen. I like to acknowledge the person for carving out time in their day. I don't want to be subservient to them. I don't want to just like bow down in front of my prospect, of course. But I want to say, look, I'm glad we're able to talk today. I'm looking forward to this. If you are, and be honest. If you're not, you probably wouldn't say, I'm really not looking forward to this. Well, maybe you will. I don't know. Depends how much courage you have. But I want to acknowledge, I want to talk about the logistics. So this is kind of step one, the logistics. So we're going to be here. I have set aside an hour. Is that what you have? Yes, that's what I have. Okay. Well, here's what let's do. I want you to lay out exactly what's going to happen during this call. Now, some of you will say, well, you're too obsessed with the details. But if I'm the person on the other end, if I'm the potential customer, I want to know, what's this about today? I kind of know because I know, when maybe we've spoken on the phone, or there's some kind of upfront understanding about what we're doing. But if more than 24 hours has gone by, I need to do it here. So you might say, look, we've got an hour together today. Here's what I thought we might do. I'd like to ask you some questions about your business and where you're trying to get, and what, if there's any pitfalls or any roadblocks in the way, I'd like to know what those are. Secondly, then I'm going to share with you some old and new ways to think about the product that we sell. I think I found that a lot of times people are kind of locked into old paradigms, and there are some new ways to think about this. I want to share that with you. Then I'd like to ask you some specific questions about your situation. And then at the end, I'll share with you what the next steps might look like, or something like that. Again, that didn't take longer than 45 seconds, but it gives the prospect a good understanding of what's going to happen. So that's step one. You can call it introduction, logistics, upfront agreement, whatever you want to call it, but it's got to be more than, hey, thanks for inviting me in. I'm going to start interrogating you with questions. It's got to be more than that. Do not interrogate your prospect. If you're in interrogation mode, and I see this all the time, you don't think you're doing it, but you are. It's just question after question after question. No softening of the questions, no acknowledgement of the answer, no, hey, I appreciate you telling me that. We just go question after question after question. It's interrogation. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. How open are you going to be if somebody's interrogating you? You're just not. So why would you do it to them? I'm fascinated by how many times sales professionals say they claim they want to be there for customer service. They want to be there as a resource. They're they're more interested in the customer and getting them the right information than they are in making the sale. All that's happy talk, though, because a lot of times that's just BS. You really want the sale, and that's all you care about. And do you not think that that bleeds through? You not think a prospect can feel that? So as close as you can get to this stance and position of, look, I'm here to bring clarity to your life. If after I bring some clarity, because I'm pretty good at what I do, you're not saying these things, this is your attitude. If you want to work with me or want to go down to down the path, that's great. If you don't, I'm good with that too, because I got thousands of customers I can call on. Again, you're not saying that, but that's the spirit you have to have. And when you start interrogating people, trying to get them to say something, it's a losing. You're a loser. Sorry, you're a loser. And I don't want you to be a loser. You're not a loser. But if you do the things that losers do, you will lose. If you do the things winners do, like we're talking about here, you will win more than you lose. Okay, step 2 then. We got the logistics, we got that upfront part. Now I want to understand what's the pain, what's the opportunity, what are they trying to avoid, where are they trying to get? This is always a spectrum. People are always trying to get away from what's not working or what's not right or what's painful or what's causing frustrations, and they're trying to get to a place over here on the right where life is good. Life is a walk in the park. There's a dream destination. There's an outcome they want. Now, here's the problem. I talked about this on a LinkedIn video here this week. People are pretty good at understanding the problem. They're not very good at developing a vision for the future. And the reason they're not good at it is because they don't live in your world. If you expect to go into and talk to a potential customer and expect them to answer this question, what do you want to, what's your end result? What's your ideal end result? You expect them to answer that? They have no freaking clue. They're going to lie to you. Whenever someone asks you a question that you don't know the answer to, and you're in a stake, the stakes are high, like there's conversation going, you're going to lie. You're going to make stuff up on the fly. We all do it. There's nothing bad about it. It's just, but I don't want to put my prospect in that place where they have to lie to me. Most lies that prospects tell you are because we do something that caused them to lie. And I know most of you will just shudder at that. Oh my God, Bill, that's a non-Christian way to look at it. I don't care if it's Christian. I don't care what it is. If our questions and how we ask them cause people to lie, I'm going to call it out because I want you to get the truth from your prospect. That's the bottom line. I want you to tell the truth. If two people come together, prospect, you come together, and you're sharing the truth, you don't think that's going to be a recipe for success for both of you? You get their money, but they get your solution and they prosper from it. I mean, everybody wins. But if there's no truth, and there's no truth because you haven't set the stage right or you aren't asking these questions, here's what I would come up with. I would come up with 5 to 7 questions that you ask every time. Put it in a Google Doc like this. Put it in a Google Doc. You could even put it on your screensaver on your phone, but always have those 5 to 7 questions. Now, Bill, it's 15 questions. We're in a very technical business. Okay, it's 15 questions, but divide them up, categorize them. So some questions might be business-oriented questions, like that have to do with revenue and income and profitability. Some might have to do with the technical parts of the equation. What have you tried to do in the past? What's worked? What hasn't? What are you open to now? What else are you looking at in terms of a solution, either from competitors of mine or very different solutions? I want to know these things. Here's the way I look at this. You are the puzzle master. You are trying to master a jigsaw puzzle, and the pieces have to be all turned over. First off, they have to all be out of the box. You got to get all the pieces out, and then they have to all be turned over. Generally, I think, I don't do a lot of jigsaws, but generally I watch people do them and they always turn everything over. And then you have an array of pieces, and then you can put the pieces together to make sense of the puzzle. And it's the same in prospecting, and same with people that you deal with. They're all puzzles. And the VP of sales that you call on, that's a puzzle. The CEO you call on, totally different puzzle. Totally different puzzle. There might be some common themes, but the CEO wants something different than the sales leader or the CRO or the people like that. So you've got to have some questions that you go to all the time, specific questions. All right. So we got introduction, we got the pain or opportunity finding, and then we have the questions. Step 4 here is, what is your philosophy? So you've asked these questions, and this is why I don't like to get into philosophy too much up front. I'd rather have some rapport. I'm asking questions. They're telling me what the answers are. They're sharing with me. We have a lot of people on today on a variety of channels, so I appreciate you all attending. Hopefully this is spot on with what you need. And I know you didn't wake up today saying, man, I want to learn how to master the first call. I know that. Hopefully you saw it in the scroll and you said, hey, you know what? Sounds interesting. Caskey's always got a gem or two. You got to search for it sometimes, but it's there. So what is your philosophy? Is there a philosophy that you can share that changes the game? Changes the game. So for example, when I go into a CEO's office and I'm talking to them about sales coaching or my services, I got to change the game because there's thousands of people out there, the clowns that do what I do, and they don't do it very well, but they're all out there. And so if they're looking at some of these other people and they call me, I've got to change the game, because without changing the game, I'm like everybody else. You're like everybody else that they call on. If you're a digital marketing agency, you're just like all the rest, unless you have a way to change the game. So changing the game means, what do you do that's so different that it separates you from all of your competition, or all of the people, you might not consider them competition, but all the people who are in the same space. So if I'm looking for a digital marketing agency, I might Google digital marketing agencies in Carmel, Indiana, or Indianapolis. Did I tell you I'm from Indianapolis? Oh, I told you that. And I would get an array. And some of these people would be YouTube video specialists. Some would be email specialists. Some would be branding specialists. There would be an array of different kinds of companies. But if you cannot separate yourself from everybody else in the business, then you have no chance of commanding a premium. You just end up being a commodity vendor. And I don't want you to be there. So what is that? Usually it has something to do with that your philosophy is different. How you look at the world is different. Most people look at the world this way. We look at it this way. Sometimes it's procedural, meaning most people do it this way. Most other vendors, other people in our space do it this way. We don't do it that way. We have found that doing it this way is better. It's a better outcome for you. So it could be philosophical. It could be technical, could be how you progress through the process, could be procedural, but you have to have a difference maker. And you can't just make the difference, well, we have more accountants than the other guys do. Or we have a better font. We have a better font we use. We have locations all over the Midwest. That's not changing the game. That's not changing. You may think it, and it might have at one point. Doesn't change the game anymore. You having a lot of physical locations doesn't matter to me. It's what are your digital locations that matter to me and matter to a lot of people. So you can't just look at what you used to look at. You have to look at philosophy, procedures, your perspective, how you see the world, how you help other people see the world. So that's number 4, is get that old way, new way out of the way. Okay. Number 5, last part here is what are the questions that typically come up? I would rather you answer the questions that typically come up as objections. So let's say that in my world, I come up to the objection. You know what? I don't want to take my people out of the field 3 hours a month, because most of my programs are 2 times a month, an hour and a half-ish each. And let's say somebody makes the ridiculous comment, I don't want to take my people out of the field 3 hours a month. Now, I don't get this too much anymore because people are never in the field. They are the field. The field is in front of them at all times, as in phone or PC, laptop. But let's say I get that. And I get that, let's say I get that all the time. Think about an objection you get all the time. All the time. Pricing, terms, timing. What are the objections you get? Turn them into questions, answer the questions. So I might say, one of the questions that I typically get at this point is, I don't really want to take my people out of the field 3 hours a month. So how do I justify doing that? Or how do I get around that? Or whatever that question would be. And then you just answer it. You don't wait for them to ask it. An amateur waits for the objections to come up. A pro brings them up front. That's the very definition of a pro, is they are so locked in and loaded on what happens, what could happen. They understand the lay of the land, the landscape, and they're always thinking 3 steps ahead. I want you to think 3 steps ahead with what are the objections that they have, turn them into questions and answer the questions before they ask them. And it could be that you don't fully answer a question very well and it'll come up again. That's fine. At least you've kind of set the stage and watered the ground a little bit. So hopefully that has helped you. I want you to master the first call. It is the most important part of the sales process to me. It's where everything gets set, positioning gets set, rapport gets set, understanding starts to get set. Premium, the premium process that you take them through has to get set. I've always said that if you have a premium product but don't have a premium process, you'll not command a premium price for it. So if you have a premium, and this is part of building a premium process, is being able to walk people through what's happening. Hey, if you want to schedule a call with me, or you want to talk to me about your team, you can go to Schedule a Call with Caskey. I used to know where it was here. Where is it here? Schedule a Call with Caskey. Where is it? Is that it? Hey, looky there. Bill is an editor. He's a producer, and he's talent. Not much talent, but he's a little bit. Schedule a call with Caskey.com, and we will talk about your team or you. Also, we have a series of webinars or workshops coming up next week, June. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're at different times. I'll make sure we put the link in the show notes here to allow you to register. It's complimentary. It's how to 2x your revenue within a year, and it's a program for VPs of sales and sales professionals. So I will see you then. Have a great weekend. And finally, last but not least, go Pacers.